This is a huge mindset shift that I think a lot of creators would benefit from. And it kind of comes into complex animations too. You know when you have like these crazy, like, fucking hell. You know when you have these crazy animations where it's like shit's moving around and all of that stuff? I'm not moving it into position. I'm first setting its position, then I move it where it needs to go. So for example, let's say I have a scene where it's like, I'm trying to animate a comment box. So you have like the comment box, right? And all I'm doing right now, in fact, I started doing it now, I'm just building it in the middle of the screen. So in the middle of the screen, I just started building a comment box. So I'm building it, I put the little thing, I put the text exactly where it goes, I put the little like 4 days ago, whatever, and I make it look like how I actually want it. There's no animations, it's just in the center. There's not even depth animations, depth effects, nothing. All I'm getting right here is I just want it to look like an actual YouTube comment box. So are the spacings all right? Like, is this spacing the same as this one? Is this balanced? Is the font the right font? This is the design stage. Once I've designed it, what I will usually do is, if I've worked on it in the middle, I'll nest it, put it where it needs to go, and then animate that. If it's a thing where I need to animate the actual text coming in, I will first design this, and before I nest it, I will basically like move this piece into its place. Because now I can just add a slide and preset to this and it'll look fucking amazing. You know what I mean? Because I promise you, if you look at some of the animations that you like love, very simple animations. Like, you don't actually need to be that complex. It just looks good because they got the design stage right. Does that make sense? Cool. Yeah, dynamic principles. Is there anything else? I guess I can run over them quickly. You guys find that useful? Or if you don't find this useful, tell me. I'll skip over.
Yeah.
Skip over or no?
No.
Oh, cool. Yeah, this is what I think in terms of when I'm adding motion. The first thing is I want to do it to context of the actual edit. So it's not about smooth or not smooth. It's not about fast or not fast. It's for this context what makes sense.
How do you know what makes sense?
You just have to watch that part of the video. Like, so I'll give you an example. If there's a documentary video and they're talking about how someone just got murdered, probably don't want like some super fast sliding of like a gun and then like, you know what I mean? Like, you'd probably have it a lot slower. And so if someone was secretly killed, you wouldn't have like a super fast sliding. You would go slower because it's sort of showing that secret vibe, if that makes sense. In terms of colors, in terms of all of that, okay, if someone was getting murdered, do you think it would be brighter or darker colors that you'd use?
Darker.
Exactly. Like, all of us have this sort of natural understanding of what would work. It's just about asking yourself what would work in this context. Like, what does this scene actually mean? And for example, let's say for context, honestly, I think thinking in terms of positive or negative would be a good start. So if you're just getting started with this context stuff, is it a good scene or is it a bad thing that they're talking about? So if they're talking about a good thing and it's more hype, it's higher energy, yeah, faster slides, smoother slides would work. But sometimes it actually works against the editor when they make it super smooth. Does that make sense? Or no? They will have something come in like some super smooth, fast animation when the guy's speaking super slowly, or he's explaining something extremely slowly like this, and it's like the speed of the animation just doesn't match how fast he's speaking. But on a game,
You have to match him. You can't just create something yourself.
yeah,
So
you match him.
make your own context of the scene.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
What do you mean?
Can I not change the context of the scene myself?
Somewhat, but you have certain footage to play with.
Okay.
So you can start with a base. So this is sort of how I use presets. I'll apply a preset, it might give me this, right? Let's say that's a slide and preset. If it's a guy speaking a lot slower, I'm gonna apply that preset and just move this keyframe over here. That's what I'm gonna do. Like, it doesn't take long to apply to context, it just takes intention. So I will move that keyframe here and now suddenly it becomes this. and that looks so much slower, which might fit that context. Or you might have a situation where you move this keyframe here. It just totally depends. Does the context thing make sense? Yeah? Cool. Like another good one that maybe you'd find useful, like you're editing a Minecraft video and a block like smoothly slides into position. Minecraft is a very like blocky, pixely type game. It should be a bit rough. You know what I mean? It should crash into position. That's what I mean by context. Digestibility, basically don't make more than one main movement at a time. One thing should happen at a time. Let's say you're doing this comment box animation. Do you guys understand what I mean by this drawing? Like you've got a comment box, you've added all these elements. Don't have this profile picture slide in at the same time as the text. Even if you offset it by like 5 frames, it makes a huge difference. Because fundamentally, they can only look at one place at a time. So you slide one thing in, and then you slide the next thing in, and then maybe you slide the next thing in. If something doesn't take that long to digest, like a quick picture, you can give it like 5 frames and then slide in the next thing and you're fine. If something takes a lot longer to digest, let's say you're doing like an article and you just highlight something, it takes like half a second for people to digest that it's an article, there's words. Then it takes them half a second to read the words. Then it takes them another half second to understand what those words mean. Okay, you probably want to leave that on for like 0.5, 1 second before you do the next major movement. So one major movement at a time. Do you want to see this in the context of an edit? Would that help?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, cool. Let's find one. What do I have in my portfolio? You know what, I'll take this to its natural extreme. I'll go on the Sona video, which is like ridiculous animations, and you'll see I still follow this. We'll go in like 0.25 speed. Cool. So pretty much what you have is, please load. Bomba cat. There we are. Okay, cool. Here, the main thing coming up is this hey. Because they're coming up together, I don't mind these two coming together, but what you'll see is hey, broskies. They don't come up at the same time. The hey broskies, one word at a time. Next big thing is this what's up. This serves just as a background element. You'll notice here, it's sort of like the Sona comes up, then the text. And this is like the brink of like how fast something's going, right? Because her audience is like 10-year-olds. Welcome back to my, so this is now one section. And now when she says channel, I put in a channel. So it's like, you'll notice I'm only really visualizing one word at a time if you listen to it.
Hey, broskies, what's up? It's Sona. Welcome back to my channel.
But do you see how like each word that's as fast as you're ever gonna need to get. Like you don't need to be that fast. But do you see how like each word was said, I visualized that. Then the next word was said, then I visualized that. It's never, I'm visualizing these two words now. It's always like one at a time. What this looks like in a more chill context, let's find one. Let me see, let's do, what animations I do here?
Rich, that you got a Ferrari drop. I'm not even so rich that you got a Ferrari.
So you notice I didn't do the second subtitle at the exact same moment as the car coming up.
I'm not even so rich that you got a Ferrari.
So do you notice like the second subtitle comes up a tiny bit before the car? So that you get a Ferrari, I wait for the word Ferrari to be said, then I bring up the Ferrari. It's like, it's super subtle, but if I brought up this second subtitle and the car straight away at the same time, it would just be so overwhelming within the first second. So I actually split it up by like half a second. Do I sound autistic or does this make any sense?
No, makes sense. Are you consciously thinking about this?
Yeah, this is very much intentional.
Okay.
If I do it by accident, I will just move the animation a little bit. But yeah, all of this is intentional, man.
You got a Ferrari dropped off at your house like it's Amazon Prime.
But you notice I wait for the Amazon Prime to like play out a little bit, then I cut it off. So let's say he says the word Amazon Prime. So these are the words, right? That's the waveform. I start it here and let him say Amazon Prime and keep it on screen. rather than waiting right till the end and it stays on for like half a second. And as soon as the animation is finished, we cut off. What I do, the animation was here where it slid in and I let it sit for a little bit. Rather than the animation comes in and I cut it out. So whenever you have like a cool slide in or you have something bop in or whatever, zoom in, you've got to let the animation play out. At least let it sit for a few frames, preferably longer if it's harder to understand information. This is the biggest mistake I find people do.
Wouldn't you have to cut it correctly first though?
Explain.
Like if you're, like let's say you cut everything and you don't allow any breathing room in the cut. What does that mean?
If you fucked up not really fucked up, if the pacing doesn't allow for it, you just J-cut it. So like, let's say this was the word Amazon Prime, and then this was the next clip with like the next words. Let's say this is where he said Amazon Prime, and the animation for it to look good, the minimum it could take was this, yeah? All I would do is just extend this clip here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it would stay on screen a little longer. Especially finance editors fuck this up so much. Why are you laughing? What did you laugh at, bro? He had finance editors like, look at these retards. Adult students is crazy. But yeah, finance guys fuck this up all the time. Where it's like you have a scene, you bring up like some cool text like a Stripe dashboard, and the second the number comes up and like they finish the animation, it just cuts to the next scene. It's like, dude, like you just brought it up, give it half a second. Because you adding half a second where you just J-cut a little bit, it flows so much better. So as soon as new information, just take this for digestibility. When new information comes on screen, does the person have long enough to understand it? That's all digestibility is.
What would you do if the context is neutral?
Context is?
It's just neutral. It's neither positive nor neither negative. Say, for example, it's talking about a guy walking down the street, grabbing his bike. And it takes like, that's 4 seconds.
So is this in the context of what? Color? Or?
No, like in general, so we were talking about the context and then how to
Oh, okay.
like, make animation or
Yeah.
do the edit based on context.
It's not really like
The context is
binary.
neutral.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's not really like binary plus or minus. It's sort of like how good, how bad. So like maybe it's like if he's going to somewhere good, it might be like slightly positive. If he's grabbing his bike because there's a murderer, it's probably more negative. So like it's on the spectrum, right?
Okay. So you should kind of like make a sense of anticipation. Like if it's something positive is going to happen, so you have to like animate the neutral movement. So you kind of have to like fit the future, right? Like what would happen next?
Yeah, so
So
you're
it
sort
has
of
to, like-
foreshadowing. I get what you're saying. So let's give that example of the bike. Let's say there's the context where for the bike, the guy's saying, I need to go grab my bike. And it's like, he's excited because he needs to go see his friend who hasn't seen in ages. If you say like, I need to go grab my bike, it might be super fast, it could be smooth, that's fine. If it's, I need to go grab my bike, as in like, there's a guy running after me who's trying to kill me, I'm probably not even gonna have a slide in. I'm probably just gonna have a hard cut or like a flashback type animation where it just goes to like his bike sitting there with no one on it to show that he's not with his bike. Like, do you see that the context has completely changed how I would visualize it?
Okay.
If you're a freelance video editor and you want to get more clients, I've got something for you. It's a completely free outreach tracker. It's the same one we use with all our coaching students, and it's going to allow you to be able to send more messages to potential clients, get more replies, and also be able to close them at higher rates. So go get that free tracker in the description. After you signed up for it, I'm going to send it straight to your email. I'm going to give you a bit more information on how I personally help video editors. So if you do want to get more help, you can apply there. But whether you get my further help or not, just go and get the free tracker for now, because at least you're going to be able to run this on your own for a while.